Welcome! Join me as we make two quick and easy Christmas cards using the Winterland Layers stamp set from the Greetery. Plus, we'll have a bonus card at the end. Coming up next on Catherine Paper Art. Today I'm going to be making the Greetery's Winterland Layers, and I'll be putting these together in cards. And you can see I've already started. I've got a making of a card here, and I have some other pieces here that I did in different colors. I did those in the distress inks and some Gina K inks. Today I'm going to be working in the distress oxides, but these are this is a really nice set. I really like this. It's a stamping layers, but it's different in that you stamp, they have separate layers, but then they also have a combined layer. And what you do is you just line up your separate layers in the combined layer stamp location, and then you can stamp all of them without having to move your stamp. So you can stamp your single layer leaves, and then you can stamp your combined layers. So it'll become clear. I know I'm not explaining that well, but it'll become clear in a moment as you see me stamp these. So here I'm stamping with the Distress Oxide in the Bundled Sage and the Rustic Wilderness. And I'm having problems with my Waffle Flower Grip Mat, and it's getting very frustrating for me because it's not gripping at all. And that's why I've got my template taped down. And I've only had the grip mat for a month. So I consulted with Waffle Flower. Okay, I was told by Waffle Flower to give the mat a good washing with some mild soap. So that's what I did, and now I will give it another chance. I do have to say it was pretty cruddy. It didn't really look like it was, but once I took it out of my Misty, it really felt like it was gross. So we'll see if that improves the situation. Hopefully it will. So I went back to the the bundled sage, excuse me, on this kind of leaf, whatever that leaf is. Well, I can see that the mat is working significantly better, so I'm glad of that, and very glad of that. Great. Okay, so these now are, we'll set these aside and do my other stems. So now I'm stamping the berry branches, and that is two separate layers or three separate layers, however you want to look at it. But the branch portion is stamped in the ground espresso, and the berries and buds are stamped separately, and the berries are stamped in festive berries, and the buds are stamped in tattered rose. Now, the Greetery suggests that you, when you stamp your layers, that you stamp the greenery portion first. So you stamp your greenery branch first as your first layer, and then stamp your second layer, your brown branches with the berries and buds second. What I'm doing now is reinserting the brown branches so that I can align the buds and berries and then stamp those. And those, again, those will be stamped in festive berries for the berries and tattered rose for the buds. You can see how handy this jig is. You save so much time with the stamping. You just pop one die in and then the next one and the next one, and before you know it, you're finished. So now I'm setting up the blossoms, or the buds rather, and I could have stamped those at the same time that I did the berries, but the blossoms or buds, whatever they are kind of small, and it's for me it was just better to do them separately. I'm not a fan of layering stamps. I avoid them like the plague. But this set was really fun, and I think it's because of the jig that made all the difference for me. And I really like this set of stamps. Now I decided that I would try and see about getting some reverse images. And to do this, I can't really use the jig portion, um, at least I don't want the composite dies for this. I just want the single stems. So the single stems, I'm just lining them up on their dies as they are. I'm not going to try putting them in the jigs. I'm just going to do it as they are on the die cuts here. And I only made one set of die cuts because I didn't have a lot of faith in how they were going to come out. Just to show you, here's one. This is the way it normally comes out, and this is the reverse. And this is okay. This looks pretty good. Then I did the leaf stem. This is the normal way it would cut out and stamp. And this is the reverse. And I had problems with this sage the bundled sage was splotchy on here. So then I decided I would go over it in the forest moss. So I have some kind of hybrid color here. But it's okay, it can be buried in the back. That wasn't too successful. So now I'm going to do these bud stems, whatever kind they are. I don't know what they're called. But now I'm going to try and do these, and these should work okay. The berries will have to be done, the berries and the buds will have to be done separately, of course, as they have to be done separately in the normal method anyway. But if you have a MISTI stamping tool, this should be a simple thing to do. If you don't have any kind of stamp positioner, then it would be very difficult to achieve, I think. So anyway, I'm just stamping them with the Distress Oxide in ground espresso. So using the Waffle Flower Grip Mat and stamping directly onto that is how I am creating the mirrored image of these stamps. So you really have to have the grip mat or just a plain stamp that you can ink onto to create your mirrored image. You could possibly use a gel press plate, a gel plate, if it's not too thick and could fit into your stamping platform. But the Waffle Flower Grip Mat is perfect for this process. Now, the greenery branches came out very nice, all in all, but the buds and berries branches, they didn't come out too well, and I think it's because the berries were just too small, or maybe if I had used a different ink that would sit on the grip mat better, they might have been more successful, but they didn't really come out too well at all. So that's how that came out. Okay, for the next card, I am going to use some of the Brutus Monroe glitter glaze. Over a snowflake stencil that I have. Do want to get this off quickly though to get it cleaned off. Ugh. I'll let this dry. Well, in my haste to quicken the drying of this, I burnt it with my heat gun. So I had to cut out a piece of it. And I used my Pinkfresh arches and made off like a window here, and I think that looks okay actually. So, we don't ever totally card are mistakes unless they're absolutely unsalvageable. And that does happen sometimes, but and that stencil actually was, I think this is Pretty Pink Posh. It says on here somewhere. Yeah, it is Pretty Pink Posh Snowflakes. Anyway, so my sentiment is going to go here, and I'm just trimming down some of these branches to use to drape over the window, you know, drape around the window, and frame the sentiment, so to speak. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. I will cover this with a leaf, this bare stem here. And I'll get my sentiment. I was thinking of the sentiment, our hearts are with you at Christmas. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and stamp this and heat emboss it, and I'll be right back. Okay, here is the finished card. I mounted the panel and put my sentiment in the center of the window, or tried to anyway. Put some branches on. And this is a flip top card. So I added some brown little stems, I guess, on these berries, since the white detail didn't work so well on the inked up version here. Wouldn't work so well on this one either. So the brown, I just used a gel pen for that. And anyway, that's that. And again, the sentiment is from the Greetery's Comfort and Joy sentiments with matching dies. And once more, the stamps are from the Greetery's Winterland Layers, and that's 2 finished cards. And here is a bonus card that I did, completely unrelated to the Greetery cards, but cute nonetheless. This is the Penny Black, another one in their bird series. This is the feathered stamp, and it's very cute. And I colored this with those June Gold oil pencils, and just splattered it with a little bit of white paint, trying to unsuccessfully create some snow. I don't know why I'm having so many problems trying to splatter, so I just left it at that. It didn't work, and I didn't want to try any further. But anyway, it's a cute little card, cute little birds. So I don't have a sentiment for it yet. I would just put a holiday greeting on the inside. But it's a cute stamp, and anyway, give it a try. After looking at this a little bit longer, I decided that I had a little too much space up here, and it was looking a little fat and chubby. So I added another branch of these, and I added some more of the berries, and I actually used the mirrored stamped images, so they look a little different, but that's okay. And I kind of fussed with the leaves a little bit just to try to pull them down a bit. I think it helps it look a little better. I don't know. I think it fills it out a little more. So anyway, those are the cards, and I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you so much.